So
welcome to John Madacey Academy. This evening we see the visiting Solent Kestrels take on the home team Reading Rockets. I'm joined by my usual co-host, Mr. Matthew Johnson.
we are joined on the balcony. We're joined in the cold air of Reading. So yeah, nice to see you, mate.
Yeah, good to see you too. So, big game this evening. Top of the league Solent haven't lost in over 2 years, taking on a mid-table Reading team, struggling to find a bit of form. Matt, what do you think about tonight's game?
Yeah, I mean, it feels like Solent haven't lost for 5 years, doesn't it? And I think we were just talking on the balcony then, and one of the things about being really cohesive as a group is a target for everyone that they want. I think it's safe to say Solent are in that groove of being really cohesive, and that's certainly a target for Rockets team as well, and for every team. So they're starting to see seeds of that for the Rockets recently. If they can do that, this could be an absolute belter of a game, because when Rockets were down at Solent, 4 minutes to go in the third, this was a 5-point game, and I think Alan would have come away and Coach Keane would have said maybe a missed opportunity to get that one closer. So good one ahead of us.
And good point in that game, missing Jazz Baines, second import for Reading. He's now in this evening. So what do you think Reading have to do this evening to keep it close and get into an end game with Solent?
Yeah, I mean, you know what, it's difficult, isn't it? Because it's hard to shake off. Solent are really deep and talent coming off the bench, very experienced. They'll keep calm, they'll keep composed. I think that's probably the thing, is if you can stop them scoring easy stuff and you're forcing them to play over the top of you more frequently, giving them less breakdowns where they're forced to play, and if you can challenge shots a little bit better and get them thinking a little bit more about how they're going to attack you in a different way than maybe route 1 or route 2, then suddenly the game looks different to you as a player. Jack O'Keefe's stepping in for Matt Guyman. He's got done a great job to keep that going, and we wish Matt the best of luck, in this new family. But what an opportunity it is to be in a game. Always when you play the champs, you always want to get them, don't you?
Absolutely, and there are so many nice matchups on the floor, whether it's O'Shean Williams and Ian Smith, whether it's Travis Charles, Leon Francis. What's the particular pairing that you want to see tonight, and how might it go?
I think also the matchups are going to be really, really interesting, because I think it'll be more matchups at certain times of the game rather than for the whole game. I think it'll be, can Coach Keane get O'Shean into a groove and can the team get him shots that he can make so he can contribute and be a problem for the opposition? Can the Rockets staff keep their guys on the floor at the right times when they need them on the floor? Will Solent be able to get the shots they want on every possession? It's so intriguing, because Travis Charles has been a lock for them. Can Leoma, maybe can Sam Tolawese or some of the younger guys get him off his rhythm? Don't let him turn and get that little 6-footer, which it's easy for us to say up here. It's a lot harder to do it down there, as we know. Absolutely.
If Travis Charles does not hit a baseline jump shot, I will be very, very surprised if he doesn't do it in the first 3 possessions, because it's probably going to happen. Now look, we're about 3 minutes. I think we're going to head back down to the floor in just a sec. And we'll go through the rosters. So I guess your final thoughts before we get into the last few minutes before the game. What's your final thoughts?
Yeah, I think I think one of the things we need to look at really is how the benches contribute as well, because we know that the teams have both got real talent down their bench as well. So let's see if we get the contributions that we want from both sets of starters, and then let's see if the benches are going to make a bit of a difference.
We're set for a really big night here. 3 minutes to tip off. We're going to go back down to the floor. We'll go through the rosters, and we will catch you in just about 3 minutes.
Wondered where he'd gone then.
Okay, looking at the rosters this evening. Going to go first through the visitors, Solent Kestrels. Starting with Ian Smith, Orlan Jackman, Brendan Okoronkwo, Andre Arisol and Travis Charles, the benches, Jonathan Lashley, Elliot Dadds, Luke Gosney and Luke Brazubra, who are both injured this evening, I believe. Kai Walker, Chris Scarlett make up the rest of the bench. For the Reading Rockets, O'Showen Williams, Reece Pinnock, and take up the backcourt. It's Sam Tolawese, Sam Grant and Leo Francis will make up the front court. Ronnie Agekwe, Jacob Stanley Tate, Ben Dixon, Chuck Duru, KV Live, Jacob Zatautis and new signing Jazz Baines for his third or fourth game out makes up the full roster. We're just about coming up to 1 minute before tip.
A lot of noise as well.
It was very noisy, and as we don't have headphones this evening, it sounded a lot noisier than normal. What do you think they're saying, Matt? You know, we've got Jack O'Keefe filling in for Matt Guyman, and as you say, done a stellar job. What do you think he's saying to his guys right now?
It's tough, isn't it? Because when you're in the groove of winning, you don't really need to say lots more. They're more reminders. They're more, these are the things to do against this team. And I think he'll be saying, you know, keep being aggressive, keep going to the basket, keep trying to play one-on-one offense. But you'll also see a very patient Solent team. And I think Coach Keeney's going to be talking about disruption. I think he'll be talking about defense. I think he'll be saying, let's make sure we get our scout really good, you know, against quality players. The differences can be in the small margins of you remembering where to get your feet on an out-of-bounds play. So I think there's a couple of things there. I just wanted to say as well, Latrell Maitland, who's I think he just said, let's get it with 3 T's, which is, I think, a youngster.
Where is Latrell this evening?
So Latrell's spending some well-deserved time with his family. Just
great.
Lost his mum a year ago. Really tough time for that young man and the family. So we wish Latrell all the best as he spends some much-needed time and gets some love and connection with the family. We wish you all the best, Latrell, and we look forward to seeing you back when you're ready.
Without question, can empathise with that very much so. So, as I said, match starters for Reading: Sam Tolawese, Reece Pinnock, Sam Grant, Leo Francis and O'Showen Williams. It's Travis Charles, Orlan Jackman.
Yeah, I think the matchups. You talked about the matchups earlier, Mark. I think the starting groups match up really well. Jackman, if you remember last time away, I think he had 12 in the first quarter. It was quieter in the second and third, but he did a lot of damage to keep his team going. So it'll be interesting to see if he finds this as a team that he likes to match up. And young Sam Grant, as we say, as the players just take a knee before the game. And we got a few comments. 112 of you already dialed in. Nice to see you so early. Ian McCardle, let's go Kestrels. Jacob Dearman, let's rock. Maria Delgado, loves to see it. I don't know. Oh, love to see it, like get it. Okay, good. And Tiffany Charles, let's go Kestrels. Hashtag history in the making. Here we go.
Can't complain. It's going to be Orlan Jackman, Sam Grant jumping up, and it's Ian Smith and Kestrels on the first possession. Jackman takes an early touch in the wing, guarded by Sam Tolawese. It's Okoronkwo swings through Arisol, and it'll be Travis Charles in that low block. And there's the jump shot I say will be in the first 3 possessions. It was on the very first one. Okoronkwo pulls down the rebound. Ian Smith wide open. Unselfishly gives it to Okoronkwo, who misses. Arisol on the board. Finally pulled down by Sam Grant. And it's Rockets off and running with O'Showen Williams. And we get our first look of the Rockets opener. It's Leo Francis getting a little bit stuck at the top, given to Reece Pinnock, who's guarded by Arisol, who finds Leo just on 3, looking for Tolawese down low, 7 on the shot clock. Leo Francis pulls their number, and probably not the first possession they wanted there for Rockets.
No, and they were down to 6 seconds, and you'd like to, I think just settling into the game, first couple of minutes, as Pinnock goes at 150 miles an hour. Good option here, Sam against
Brendan Okoronkwo, just gets in and scores. Nice idea. And we spoke about this pre-game, didn't we?
Really like it as well. Good job by the coaches, isn't it? Get Sam right in the groove early on. Sam scored 16 against Kestrels away without making a perimeter shot.
Ian Smith goes in and out, just about skips to Okoronkwo, nearly tipped by Sam Grant. It's 1-on-1, shot clock at 7.
Yeah, nice.
It's Jackman, pump fake, just gets inside with the runner and front rims it, and it's cleared by Sam Grant. Rockets off and run again. Pinnock through Leon Francis. He'll go at Travis Charles with the spin.
Good choice.
Nothing doing. Sam Grant takes a look, swings to Tolowazy. His first 3 of the night, front rims that one, and that will be out of bounds, stays with Kestrels.
So let's look at the first couple of minutes. You've got a Tolowazy 3, and we've got a Leon long 2, and then we've got Sam Grant and a really nice block, and that's about the composure and about getting into what your coaches want you to get into throughout the game. So it'll be interesting to see. I think Solent, good job defensively to get Rockets into 2 early shots they didn't want, but they leaked.
Charles again, off the little curl, 15-footer at the foul line, gets it to go. And it's 4-2 Kestrels. Williams through Sam Grant. He gets his first look just inside 3. And he will get the friendly roll and make it, and that's 4 up. Ian Smith again on the push. Goes at Williams. Brings it back out, and this is Andre Aerosol through the middle. Goes at Leon Francis, who has whistled for a foul. A little bit easy getting down the middle there, Matt.
Yeah, and I think when you have a look at the pace of the game as well, that particularly half-court offence, where Solent can reverse the ball, then they go straight into that handoff of the ball screen with Jackman there and Aerosol. Tough to catch up on. So we'll see then. And I think Sam T is saying, I can switch that. So we'll keep an eye on that one, because that's a really tough handoff to play against. So you've got Reese and Sam just touching hands, bit of comms.
Aerosol makes both.
Yeah.
And this is Pinnock at the lead guard role. Looking for Francis, finds him on the little pot. Down screen, looking for Tolowazy on the baseline, doesn't find him. It's picked off by Ian Smith, and Kestrels are off and running. This is where they do well. Nice touch on from Orlan Jackman. It's a really good look. And 1 for Travis Charles, and what a little touch pass from Orlan Jackman there, Matt.
Yeah, really nice transition offense, and it's come straight out of defense, isn't it? So Rockets are going to have to, they're just going to need to get their timing right. They're going to need to settle into this game. There's only played 2 minutes 45. They've had a couple of times that offense has just stalled a little bit. And you'll see it as players get into the rhythm of the game, that they'll become a little bit more fluid. The stuff that they're running is good. Pinnock and Aerosol, what a great matchup.
Yeah, it really is.
Down to 6 seconds.
It's Pinnock on the drive, goes in with the left hand. It's Leon Francis on the follow, can't get it to go, and now it's
good effort on the
up and running. It's 3-on-1. It's Okoronkwo, goes Euro step and finishes easy underneath. O'Shea and Williams will push fast the other way, and the tempo is picking up here. Leon Francis and Travis Charles, they'll go pick and roll. O'Shea and Williams turns the corner, gets a step back 3 in the corner, in and out, and they are off and running again, and this is where Kestrels are very dangerous. And 1, Ian Smith this time, and it's jumped out to a 7-point lead really quickly.
Yeah, and I think when we look at the other end, we're looking at the best offense that Rockets had early on, was it? Sam Grant got that big inside move, got to the glass. We're now, both Sam, Leon and Sam T all crashing the glass hard and just getting caught in transition for maybe a bit over enthusiastic on trying to get their hands on it early in the game.
So Rockets could do with the score here. Sam Grant looks at it, goes to the pull-up, wants to dump it off inside, and the disjointedness comes again, and just as we look inside for Travis Charles, he'll get an easy layup, and that'll be timeout. So just as we see the guys head to the benches, Matt, you said this pre-game when we were talking, and this is really what Solent can do to you, is that once you start to doubt yourself a little bit, they find those cracks, and then all of a sudden a 2-point ball game is now an 11-point ball game.
Yeah, and it's, listen, you don't win 53 games in a row, do you, without those sort of things going on. You don't get to the point where you're, reigning champions without having good quality on offense and defense. And I think that's probably one of the things that is under talked about with this Kestrels group, is defensively they're really, really difficult to play against with experienced players, even putting the likes of Jackman in that will kind of goad you into shooting it, but still challenge you, rather than maybe over-committing. Oh, and that's part of the development of every group and every team, and this Solent team have been through that. So
just looking at some early leaders here, so it's Travis Charles, who, again, I don't want to say, I mentioned off camera, he could be the danger man, so he's up to 7 already in the first kind of 4.5 minutes here. Just thank you for everybody joining the live stream already. It's 167 of us dialed in. Keep the comments coming. We'll get through to as many as we can. Lots of Solent support here, so hopefully you are enjoying the stream and we're being as unbiased as we possibly can. Guys, back out on the floor now. What do you think Coach Keane's got to do to get a couple of scores and get this one close again?
He'll just be settling into offense. It'd be really good now to see where we get offense from, because that's been the thing that he's been. That you get team confidence by knowing you can score.
And it's a turnover and steal from Andre Arasol. Missed 3 from Okoronkwo, and now Rockets have some numbers. It's 4 on 3, but Kestrels are back. It's Sam Grant with the pull, and he makes it. Big shot from Sam Grant from 3.
Yeah, and that's the kind of transition shot.
Okoronkwo, and he finds a wide open Ian Smith in the corner. He misses this one. It's Travis Charles doing a nice job on the boards. Little fake, and there's that short jumper again, cleared by Sam Grant. It's showing off and running. He finds Grant again, who puts it on the floor this time. Turns the corner with the left hand. It's a great move by Sam Grant, but he just can't finish.
And what a difference, eh? What a difference. Sam Grant makes a 3, then if he makes that layup, you're a 6-point game, and suddenly no one's saying anything.
Hand off with Arasol. He makes the 3 from deep. And just like that, the Sam Grant 3 is erased, and it's back up to an 11-point lead. They reverse through Pinnock. It's Tolowazy now. Again, looking a little bit static, the Rockets offense, but they go inside to Leo Francis.
Now they can drop down.
Travis Charles, big body down there. Not easy to move, and it's Okoronkwo on the board. He'll push, just flatten the defense a little, go in and out against Sam Grant with the pull-up, and makes it. And Rockets still feel close, still close in this one. It's just been the fast break that's really hurt them early on.
Yeah, and 7 points in 6 minutes isn't a good enough return for what they'd expect. So, and
Sam Grant early pull again. Doesn't get that one to go. It's Ian Smith on the drive, just blows by Tolowazy and misses the layup, but will go to the line for 2. So Matt, getting a little bit of dangerous territory here. Subs maybe coming in. Think about what Ben Dixon brings to the game now.
Yeah, I would think defense for me. I would think you want to come in and defend when it's 20 points in 5 minutes. So I would imagine that Tolowazy has to go out now. 2 fouls, first quarter. Plenty of other guys to see the floor yet.
Subs in for Solent as well. It's Jonathan Lashley into the game. Elliot Dads also joins. It's Travis Charles and Brendan Okoronkwo who go to the bench.
Yep, and I think as well, coaches just have a quiet word with Reese and saying to Reese, you know, this is what we can do next.
Early leak, Dixon gets it, drops off to Francis, who doubles, and it's a turnover. Big bit of excitement from the Solent bench. Never seen such an exciting double dribble call in my life.
No.
Quite exciting, but
incredible. KV Live coming into the game.
Good energy, youngster academy kid KV Live into the game. It's Leon Francis out. Francis nearly...
Good pressure by Pinnock.
And it's Ian Smith who nearly fumbles. And again, good matchup to the guard spot here. Pinnock, a good defender. Ian Smith, very good offensively, just turns the corner. Great find for Jackman. And he makes the corner 3. Yeah. Solent are flying here. Pick and roll doesn't go so well, and I think I'd like to see them go back to a bit early post up. You find a better matchup like a Sam Grant and go back to that. Maybe get some easy ones, get to the line.
Pinnock with the steal.
Pinnock steals, and then Dixon fouls Elliot Dads.
Yeah, 2 shots.
Again, just looking at the foul count there, Matt, you can kind of see how this game's gone so far. You know, Reading in their team fouls now. Solent yet to commit a foul.
And I would say, you know, coaches will all be saying, and the players will be saying, we've not got into the game yet. we haven't been in the game yet. We haven't really got to any shots yet that we've been able to kind of feel comfortable with. Solent.
Downs makes his second.
The 20-point gap.
KV looking for a handoff, finds O'Showen, 10 on the shot clock. They'll go side pick and roll, swing through Pinnock. He's got a slight lane. Eurostep finds Sam Grant. He misses back rim, and
KV gets his hands on it.
Solent off and running again. It's 2-on-1. They'll drop it off to Lashley, and he just puts it in. And one thing we didn't really cover pre-game is that I think if you've watched the Rockets this year, transition defense has been a real bugbear of theirs, and transition offense is one of Solent's strong points. So it could go like that this evening. Pinnock dials his own number and makes it.
Yeah, and I would say, Mark, that's really good to see, because the Pinnock against Hemel was an absolute killer.
Aerosol goes
good rebound,
pump fake, step back, doesn't make it. It's Pinnock on the run. He'll get inside and he's fouled by Lashley. And that is Solent's first foul at just under 3 minutes.
Yeah, and it's a really, it's not the stats that makes the difference, but if you're on the line and you're saying we're attacking and we're getting the other team to foul us, you're in good spots. Whether that happens in transition or whether that happens in half court, but you're being really aggressive.
Sam Grant, Reece Pinnock out, Chuck Daru and Jazz Baines in. And this is O'Showen. Williams gets to the rim.
And only O'Showen's third shot, right? So he's missed the corner three, he's made the jump shot. That's the first time we've seen him do what we know he can do, which is really go at you. So
Jackman now posting up Daru. Great hands by Chuck. Ball
great
comes
job,
down.
Chuck.
Just what they need in this. Williams finds Dixon. He'll go inside against Scarlett, and that's a good matchup for Reading, and he makes it. Bit of momentum here for the Rockets going into the final 2 minutes. Solent lead this 29-14.
Yeah, momentum's big, Mark. Momentum is big.
And again, that's, sorry to cut you off there, Matt. I think that's the action you and I have been speaking about, where KV's drawn into a cross-screen action while Ian Smith's on the drive, completely misses it. He's way out of position on help, and I think this has been a bit of a bugbear over the last few weeks.
Well, yeah, and it's tough, isn't it? Because KV's matched up against guys that can make 15-footers and matched up against guys that can score. So the last time he matched up on Orlan's shooting a corner three. So it's tough. But I also think you've got a responsibility to guard the ball one-on-one. And O'Showen, Ian Smith just goes past O'Showen in an open court. So O'Showen's got to get his distances right as well.
Final 2 minutes here. It's Williams.
Long time to go.
Pick and roll with Daru. Finds Jazz Baines, the new guy. He'll find himself there. KB with a spin. I think that's a tough call. Probably was a charge, but certainly
I think
made the most of it. Is that, am I allowed to say that? I did clarify that. I said it was a charge, but he made the most of it.
Yeah, no, that's fine, I think.
Okay.
That's good experience.
Objective
Youngster hits you in the chest and you dive on the floor.
Yep. This is again, they'll go the handoff screen. It's Lashley, turnaround, makes it the little 6-footer. Here's Jazz Baines for Rockets.
Great opportunity for KB Live.
Shot going at Jackman. He'll get himself all the way inside and nearly finished. Doesn't get it to go. It's Lashley on the board. He'll push himself. Scarlett through Aerosol. Reversal here. It's Ian Smith and now Jackman on that low block against KV. What a matchup this is for the young man. Ian Smith this time blows by O'Showen again. Lays it up but nothing doing.
Great position, KB Live right there, Mark.
Baines cleared and it's Jackman who fouls O'Showen in the open floor. So we see another set of subs coming in. It's Okoronkwo in for Solent, Jacob Satautis in for the Rockets. Ian Smith gets his first break of the evening. And it's KV Live going to the bench for Reading.
Yeah, and we'll finish this quarter by the looks of it with just O'Showen Williams as a starter, which shows, you know, we're looking.
Dixon, one dribble pull up, makes it, great shot from Ben Dixon.
And mid-range, it looks good for him. Now we've got to get defence to add weight to it, 16 down.
Baines going through the handoff. Jackman finds Okoronkwo and he makes the three, and the shooting percentages just keep going for Solent. Last possession here. Game clock's ahead of the shot clock. Shot clock should have been turned off. It's 10 seconds now. This is Okoronkwo. Aerosol, middle of the floor. Pick and roll with Lashley. Aerosol, pull up three. It's off right, and we are done for the first quarter. Matt, just as you pull out the stats and have a little look at both team and individual stats, it's the end of the first quarter here. Solent lead this 35-16. It's a massive first quarter for the reigning champions, putting up a 35-point first quarter. They're on course for 900 points in the game this evening. It's
well, you got I think the thing that sticks out to you is you've got 7 guys that have scored 3, 5, 4, 5, 9, 4. You've got a real spread offense for Solent in that first. And, you know, it feels like we've been here for 3 quarters of the game. We haven't. So, and it's a strange one. I really love the fact that young Satowers comes in there, takes a switch there and challenges at the end of that. And these are the sort of games where you've just got to stay with it. You've just got to build your way back into the game. These games are, as crazy as it sounds, it's a talent that you've got. Solent won't keep shooting at the click they had. Rockets will make adjustments and will find an easier way to score. Right now, the key scorers usually for Rockets, Lyon France normally is more productive for them, so we're having to make some changes there. Sam T got his second foul, having to make some changes there. Reese just getting himself going, just knocked down a 3, so I'm sure we'll see more of him. Sam Grant as well, guys that are normally contributing. Jazz Baines just come into the game. So let's see if Rockets have got some firepower to come back in this second quarter and actually go into the half with a conversation to be had about actually 20 more minutes of this. So what we have to see, what Rockets will need to see now is they're now down by 19. They need to be down about 10. If they're down 10, 12, something like that, where they're showing that they can actually come back, they're going to go into the second half with a conversation to be had.
It's Travis Charles leading all scorers with 9. Ian Smith has 4 assists, and Orland Jackman has 3 assists as well himself.
Yeah.
So Solent guys leading the way. As Matt said, it's 35-16 going into the top of the second quarter.
Yeah. And we've got a lot of comments.
Jazz Baines, first wide open 3, front rim's this one, but it's Chuck Dura on the rebound, and he gets fouled underneath, and that's better to see from the Rockets. Going back to YouTube, Matt.
Yeah, you say there's Angela Stewart, wow, we're on fire, let's go Kestrels. Jacob Dearman, come on Rockets, rebound basketball. Andre on the show last night warned that he thought Solent will reach their peak offensive game soon. Looks like we're seeing something close, shooting 55% currently. So, and that's one of the things, isn't it? You against this team with this calibre of play, you have to play both. You have to score on them because you have to take away some their defensive potential and their defensive calibre, and then you've got to lock them down and you've got to make shots, make it harder. So
here we go.
Great opportunity.
Aerosol finds Scarlett. They'll go handoff, screen and roll. Better defensive side by Rockets. The screen and roll is nowhere.
Nice defense on the perimeter.
This has now stalled the offensive bit, and it's Aerosol one-on-one. Drops it off to Lashley. Chucks across there, and he blows the wide open layup. And it's just fumbled out of bounds. Rockets could have just held on to that one. It's Jazz and Chuck exchanging.
That's just frustrating, isn't it?
Yeah.
You've got good defensive performance. You've got the perimeter guys showing. You've got help behind them, and then we come up with it and then just chuck it away. So Chuck will be frustrated with that. So I'm sure he'll make up for it.
Sideline ball is Okoronkwo. Down screen for Aerosol, and it's Baines with the pressure. High screen and roll here. Good show by Chuck. It's Aerosol, nice step back, front rims this one. They need to clear the boards. They don't, and it's Travis Charles who snagged himself another. Now it's Lashley down low on Satautas. They need to get this board, and they do this time.
Great defence. Really good
showing
defense.
Out and running, pull up from 3. It's in and out, and it's halfway down. A lot of contact on the 3, missed by the officials. And they're back to Lashley down low. It's Satautas, big body, decent defence by...
good defence from the youngster, Mark.
Absolutely. Showing again, finds Satautas on the run. That's nice for the big man from John Medacy Academy. Great to see that out and running.
Yeah, and Mark, look at that. 3 good possessions of defence from the Rockets. Collected, really composed. Interesting matchup here for Chuck. Small man defence on Travis.
A nice little shoulder fake from Travis Charles, and that's just so good, isn't it, Matt? Ben Dixon, who had a couple of early scores, drops it off to Satautas again. Decides to kick this time to Baines. Shot clock down at 12.
Full screen.
Baines will turn the corner with the left hand, and that's nice if it goes. He doesn't get it to fall. Solent off and running with the numbers. It's Scarlett. Finds Aerosol wide open in the corner, and this one is halfway down and out, but it's Okaronko on the board, so he'll get another shot at it. Misses another. And it's Jazz Baines for Reading off and running, and Chris Scarlett with the steal. O'Showen on the baseline. He needs to finish that, and he's looking for all the contact. Doesn't get it, and now it's a 3-on-1 break. Scarlett. He's long on his 3. You don't see that very often. He's a 3-point specialist, but it's Aerosol on the board, and Reading all over the place in transition.
And just when we have a look at that, 5 really good half-court defensive possessions, and on each time we've got one good curl cut by Satautas, gives them the layup they want.
Dixon from 3 this time doesn't get it to
Great
go.
Offensive boards
it's
again.
Chuck down low.
Chuck's on it again.
This
Gets
time,
himself to the line.
Okaronko called for the foul underneath, and Chuck goes back to the line, as you say, Matt. He's been a nice addition, and we've seen that over the last couple of games where Chuck's given steady minutes and kind of been above his season averages.
And Mark, as Satautas just goes out after cracking 3 or 4 minutes by the young man as well from Northampton's finest, replaced by another one of Northampton's finest before we get slammed on the on YouTube for not mentioning it. But Chuck's given something more than what height and position mean, isn't he? He's just come in, he's defended really well. He's come in, he's got his hands on stuff straight away. He's got himself to 2 or 3 offensive rebounds, and he's 6'3" maybe, and then makes them both. So great contribution by Chuck, and in comes Reese.
So 17-point ball game here, so the lead 39-22.
I said tonight, I think Rockets have got 7 minutes to get it within about 10 or 12.
Charles on the cut, front rims it, and it's Leon Francis with a big board, and that's good. Needs to get that into the hands of the guard, and does, and it's O'Showen Williams. Finds Chuck early on. This time, Okaronko's hands are good, and that's all ball. Ian Smith on the drive, goes to the left hand and makes it. And the floor general for Solent, picking up where he left off from his MVP season last year. Just gets O'Showen to turn, gets on his left hand. That's an easy finish for the Division 2 man.
Brendan goes out, Elias Poorman coming in. His first trip on the court.
Smith makes his free throw, 20-point ball game here. It's Williams on the floor with Duru, Francis and Pinnock out of that diamond set. Pinnock finds Chuck. He dials his own number from 3, and he does not get the friendly roll, although he nearly did. And it's Smith on the clear, guarded by Pinnock, who is a good defender. Foreman inside, and the foul's called. I think the ref was waiting to see where that would go. It's the right call. Baines with the reach, on the floor, stays with Solent. Jackman, little give and go with Aerosol. He'll step out and dial his own number from 3. Off, and it's Pinnock with the clear. The Rockets guards out and running through the middle, and there's a foul inside. It's on Chuck Duru, it'll be the offensive foul. I think he was looking for the early post up, but O'Showen goes on the drive, and they end up running into each other basically.
Yeah, I think Chuck ended up trying to screen deep in transition when. And this is about being cohesive, isn't it? It's where the 4 guys without the ball, knowing what the guy with the ball is trying to do. And it's such a good balance when you see Solent have done that really well for now, nigh on 2 years. The other 4 guys know what the guy's doing. Zone now.
Travis again, just big body down there. One thing that is good about Travis Charles, not the biggest in height, but strong body and very good movement. Very good movement off the ball.
Absolutely.
It's Smith, rips O'Showen. They're 2-on-2, and it's Baines who takes the charge, and that's a big let off for the Rockets. Great stuff by Jazz Baines.
Yeah. In comes Sam Grant for Chuck Duru. We talked about earlier, good contribution from Chuck. And good coverage by Solent. Found Sam wide open, dials it, knocks it in.
Big shot from Sam Grant again, who is
good offense,
just
good pass as well, Mark.
Yeah, I don't want to say it's keeping it close, but it's keeping them in a decent distance. I don't know what the right touching distance. As Chuck pulls from the foul line again, and that is pretty much automatic from that range.
Yeah.
Sam pops again. It's Pinnock, shot clock at 9. Baines on the back cut, tries to find O'Showen in the corner. It's Pullman with the steal. They're up ahead. It's Aerosol, tries to drop off to Ian Smith. There's some contact in there. We'll keep going. Rockets have numbers now. It's 4-on-2. Sam Grant with the corner pull, and that is off. Going the other way.
Yeah.
What would you like to see there, Matt? More attack?
Yeah, I think it's tough, isn't it? Because everyone is desperate to score. Everyone on the Rockets team is trying to get a bucket, and they see a little moment. We take it. It's not the shot that you're seeing them make a lot of during other games or during the games of the season.
Just back to a zone again. It's a very spread zone. I think Solent will have not a lot of trouble picking this one apart. Charles, it's Jackman on the cut against Toloese. Kick to Aerosol. He's off left, but it's the body of Travis Charles who pulls another. Bit of contact. Looks like he's been hit on the head there. It will take a minute to stand up. So Matt, 4 minutes to go in this one. Actually, are we thinking they need to chip away a little bit? I think 10 or 12 might be unrealistic. What would you reset your expectations as a coach?
But I wouldn't have said. I don't think it was unrealistic when we talked about it. I think and we saw 5 good possessions and just not the production on offense that we wanted. So I don't think they're unrealistic expectations. I think it's now about the players getting the shots that they want to get and being disciplined. So we're not rushing into anything that they're taking and being composed.
Grant against Jackman. I like seeing this. Sam put it on the floor again. It's a really nice progression for that young man's development, and he'll get himself to the line, I think.
And I think we talked about it before, Mark, didn't we? We're nearing the end of the half, and Solent's defence has been the best in the division. Quite simply, the best in the division. And each one of those guys on the floor now has got a shout to say they probably could be one of the best defenders in their position in the league, individually, and the schemes that they run. So putting that together is why you're seeing a Rockets team feeling a little bit like they've just got to get a shot off and got 25 points on the board. We've only seen one inside layup from the Rockets from Sam Grant earlier on, which says how tough it is to get the ball in there. When it does go in, how tough it is to score in there.
I think as well, when I saw Solent last year, I think one of the things that teams did better against them was take them off the bounce. Yeah. Now they've got Jackman who defends the perimeter well, Aerosol who defends really well on the perimeter, and when you add that into Okoronkwo, into Ian Smith, they're just not easy to beat off the bounce in the minute, which is again why you're seeing not a lot go inside, I think.
And you know, when you can see perimeter defense, their spacing is good, so their personal spacing is good on ball. So they're waiting for people to score over the top of them. So Reese has hit one, hasn't he? And Sam's hit one, but you've got to be able to punish those. Into the last 4 minutes, 3.5 to go.
Foreman swings through Smith. It's Aerosol now. O'Showen. Foreman inside, little dump off to Charles. Ian Smith now with the ball. Front rims that one, and they need to get a rebound. And it's tipped up and in by Brendan Okoronkwo, who gives, I would say, the fans a flex, but there's no one here, so gave his teammates the flex.
Yeah.
Sam Grant finds Tolawese. Decent post up from Sam. Needs to go at Foreman here, and he will. Travis Scholl stays at home, and he tries to kick to Sam Grant on the lift, and that one is out of bounds, and it's with Solent, who lead this one 48-26.
That's where you're trying to finish offense that's broken, aren't you? Which is tough to do.
Smith at Sam Grant again just flattens the defense out, and it's Aerosol with the three. Timeout, Coach Keane, and just before I get your thoughts on what Coach Keane might be saying at this point, probably a good time for us to mention our wonderful sponsors, the Great Outdoor Gym Company.
Yeah, I mean, we do mention that. I don't think we mention the support enough. In fact, we didn't do that before the show in terms of talking about the extra effort that's going on at the minute around the country to just get these games on. So it's really important that we're recognising that, not just the guys that are doing the streaming and running around putting cameras up and putting mics on people and everything else, but also the referees. I talked in the game, in the first game, the referees now and all the solutions they've got to their testing protocol, all the COVID people that are doing stuff, people that are getting media to games, the physios, the players, the coaches. This is a really, really big animal to keep it moving, Mark. And as we're looking forward to it maybe getting slightly easier in the future, it's a big thank you to companies like the Great Outdoor Gym Company and Coral Hotels that have said, hey, look, we know you're struggling, we know you want to provide a service, so let's get behind each other. So thank you to them and Basketball England and NBL Live and all the other people that really make this happen. And there's 230 people that are benefiting from it.
Yeah, thanks for joining us, everybody, on the live stream. Always appreciate it. Again, if you want to share and just make sure the word gets out a little bit and maybe push towards 300 for this game. It's Travis Charles leading all scorers with 15. Then it's Aerosol with 10, Sam Grant for the Rockets with 9. Solent lead this one 51-26, 2:43 to go in the first half. Better movement here from Rockets, getting into offense a little bit earlier. This is Tolawese from 3, doesn't get that one to go, and it's pulled by Aerosol. Defended by Pinnock. Screen with Okoronkwo, they switch that one. They'll switch that back again, and it's Aerosol defended well by Pinnock. Gets a little bit of room and just makes it from 12 feet. Nice move from Andre Aerosol, and it's Tolawese, early post. Like to see that one, Matt.
Yeah. And stemming as well, Mark, for good perimeter defence down this end, right? So really good defence, good solid. Keep the guy in front of you. Sam did a good job switching with Reese.
Lashley with the elbow 3, and that one will go with the Rockets. Tolawese and Pullman on the rebound. Solent just extending their pressure just a little bit. More token pressure than anything else. O'Show and Williams, handoff with Tolawese. Grant through Pinnock, little down screen for O'Showen, into the ball screen with Leon Francis. Should be a post up there if they wait a little longer. Only called us a travel.
Yeah, good set as well.
Yeah,
good offensive
probably
set,
one
good
of the best.
spacing, yeah, good timing.
I think if they wait half a beat longer for Leon to post up, he's probably open.
And Reese looked back at that one as well, so he could have shot it as well. He had so there's stuff out of that set that's obviously good spacing, good timing.
Okoronkwo drives at Sam Grant, and running right-handed hook over the top of the 6'8" Sam Grant is a very nice finish from the Worthing man.
Just great skill. And the same for Aerosol, those last two plays when Rocket's defense has been good and Aerosol just comes out and breaks them out of it.
Sam Grant again misses this one, a little bit more challenged. Subs in, it's KV Live entering the game. Leon fronts out, it's timeout for Solent. And what do you think there, Matt? I think Leon's been back in for a few minutes and now he looks to be back out the game again. Is Alan seeing something that he's not liking, or is it just a case of trying to get some minutes for the younger guys?
Yeah, I mean, you know, you're a long way down, aren't you, at the moment? You've got to try and find something, and you're trying to find answers. This is the difficult thing when you're, as a player in that situation, you've been there as well, I've been there, you're trying to find your way into the game, and you've just got to stay together, and you've just got to stay composed. That's what you need to do. You need to listen now when you're in the moment, the timeouts, because you need clarity, because something's not quite clicking for you, and the coaches are the ones that can see it, right? So they're the ones that are right. It's that timing, it's that screening. So when they get that right, and they get into a rhythm. We saw it in the last offense, right? We just saw that. And it ended up with Reece could have had an open three or a drive. So there's little shoots of opportunity there, but Coach Keane's played, as you can see, he's played nearly everyone on the roster a decent amount of time. So he'll now know going into half time, right, well, who can give me what? Who can contribute at a game at this level? And remember, you're playing against the best team in the country that has, you know, almost MVP talent at each of the 5 spots when they put anyone out. You know, they were champions last year. They bring Aerosol in, who's their MVP today so far, I guess, with Travis Charles. So, you know, tough matchups.
Lots of weapons on this Solent team,
absolutely.
And no surprises there. It's just under a minute to go here at the John Medeski Academy. Solent lead this one 55-28.
Yeah.
A little bit of extended pressure again from Rockets. Solent break it fairly easily. And they'll go back to this 2-1-2 extended zone. Okoronkwo goes baseline and drops it out of bounds. Turnover, and can Rockets get a score here? Just get into the lead just a little bit before half. It's too many for me even to calculate at the minute. It's that big of a lead. O'Showen goes by Ian Smith, but he stays at home. This is Toloazy. This is a better matchup. Jump ball, and it will go with Solent. But you can see, you know, from earlier conversations, that's the sort of thing we were looking for, right? Foreman's in, Toloazy, bigger, stronger guard, goes to the post up. Maybe more of that early on would have helped, but it's good to see they're going to it now.
Yeah, and you know, with offense and defense as efficient as this, it's a tough job for anyone in the division to get closer. So the challenge is certainly there.
Smith, that's Aerosol in the corner, misses. It's Lashley on the boards, and Pinnock will knock that one out of bounds.
So 5.3 seconds to go, and Williams is going full speed. 3, 2, 1 for the corner for a 3, and just short by Pinnock.
So, after what's been a fast but very, very dominant Solent performance in this first half, they put up 55 in the first 20 minutes of play. Reading have 28, and I think before we just take a little bit of break ourselves for the half-time, Matt, firstly, I think for me, just looking at our face value, if we're going back for the matchups and where we thought about, it's Travis Charles and Leon Francis, it's Ian Smith and O'Showen Williams. Pretty clear Solent getting the best of the individual matchups at the minute.
Yeah, and I would also say that it's one thing, isn't it, to say about matchups, and what you're seeing now is there's a lot of talented players on this court for both teams, but being able to mesh your talent at the right time to influence your team more is actually that's the target of the group. That's what all the coaches in every division are trying to do, and something that takes as well. That takes unselfishness, and it takes skill, and it takes a lot of other things. And one of the things you're seeing really well with Solent, you're seeing that they're very comfortable within their own position, their own role, and then what they're asked to do. So that's the sort of thing where Rockets are going to be looking at that to say, right, when we're watching the game back, saying, okay, this is the sort of thing that they get contributions from the right people at the right time in the right spots. So as Coach Titmus used to say, you press that button that says number 7, bing, does what number 7 should do, whatever that is. If it's a inside move, Travis Charles, you know what he's going to do. You know he's going to shoot it, so you can rebound from it. And whereas you've seen a little bit of stumbling offense from Rockets at times, and to be honest, I think credit to Solent's defense on that. They've really managed to take away the first option of what they'd be. So we haven't seen Leon Francis with hardly any presence in the paint, which is rare for him in a whole half. I think Solent have done a good job taking that away. And I think it's something that it's going to be intriguing, Mark, to see how much Rockets can get in a changing room and what can they do to make a difference in this third quarter. So I love games like this. I think it gives us something totally different to talk about. It gives us something to look at how the coaches are working, and you can see on the camera there, you've got 6 brains and 6 loads of stat sheets and 6 opinions, all feeding information in to say, right, what we've got to do. The same thing for Solent. What can we do better? What are the things we do better? And then for Rockets as well, with Coach Keane and Coach Lloyd and Coach Williams saying, hey, right, this is one of the things we could do. That hasn't worked as well. We wanted to do that. So let's have a look at those things. Let's have a see, Mark, see what happens after in the third quarter.
Right, while we take our 10-minute break, you take your 10-minute break. Thank you, everybody on the live stream, for joining. We will be back in about 10 minutes' time. Go and put the kettle on. Go warm up your TV dinners and then come and join us again. We'll be back in 10 minutes.
long for 3-4 seconds.
Welcome back to John Medeski Academy. I appreciate everybody who stuck around during the half-time. Hope you've had your tea and TV dinner. We're back at this one. It's Reece Pinnock early, fires up. Nice to see the aggressive nature on the first offences. Matt Johnson is back in the booth.
Yeah, no, sorry I'm a little bit late, Mark. I was making you tea.
Yeah, I appreciate that cup of tea. Thanks for that.
I know where I belong. I just say from the half-time, whilst you're watching this, saying half-time, Samuel Hardy says, right now in this game, Reading can't limit Solent at all, and Solent are doing the exact opposite by taking away Rocket's key players and make others players make plays.
Basically, that's the scout done.
Yeah, he's done that, hasn't he?
Finished.
Yeah.
2 sentences. Excellent
Well done,
work.
Samuel.
Excellent work.
KV Live getting the start.
This is Okoronkwo with the pull. Doesn't get it to go, but it's Travis Charles. Big board on the baseline.
Rebound by Travis.
Skips it to Aerosol. Tries to go by Pinnock. Ian Smith on the lift. He airballs this one, and it's out of bounds. Rockets possession. It's for people just joining us, making sure the feed into live stats is kept up. It's Solent leading this on 55-28. We're just in the first minute of the third quarter. KV Live, screen high, looking for a post up. It's now O'Showan on the down screen. Little duck in from KV. O'Showan on the step back, and it's a really tough shot from O'Showan Williams.
Yeah, and I should think he'll breathe a sigh of relief. You could just see his whole body just go, oh, thank goodness for that. Still didn't have any space and he made it. So that's the type of thing that we're looking for early on.
KV again,
good
stuck in the help. It's a good clear out by Sam Grant. There's nobody else rebounding on that backside. Toloazy, nearly stolen by Jackman. It's Sam Grant, good position in the paint. Okoronkwo is battered around and finally in the hands of Aerosol. He'll go cross court to Okoronkwo again. He'll get a paint touch. Little shovel inside to Travis Charles, and it's a lovely look from Brendan Okoronkwo. Skip Toloazy. He'll pull up the early three, and that's missed. And Aerosol claims a board on the weak side. Solent off and running again. No numbers.
I think Rockets, Mark, have got to be careful getting into that stuff.
Yeah,
you've got to be careful shooting that transition three, especially when you're a long way down. You've got to read. That's good. You know, maybe a showing after you've made one that looks like a good shot to shoot.
All about making those possessions count when you're down this many, and as you say, getting into the transition game with Solent, who are probably the best transition team in the league, is probably not our best bet in the when trying to come back from this.
Yeah, I would say as well they're not just the best transition team, they're the best defensive team in terms of their coverage and players at positions. We spoke about that in the first half. So, you know, unless you're getting the ball in the hoop, it's hard to slow them down a bit. So,
it's Pinnock through Sam Grant, showing on the little stagger, and he's wide open this time again, but doesn't make it. Boards by Sam Grant, who's got good rebounding already. Toloazy skies in with the right hander. That's a slight. Pinnock called for the reach. Slight hook from Aerosol on the baseline there, missed by the officials.
I think you're. I think good possession, good offense by Rockets. 2 or 3 good offenses in a row now. Good spacing as well, and having KV Live in there as a 5 gives them a real balance with both Sams at the 4 and the 3.
Whistle here. It's the
referee stopped that.
Issue with the shot clock, I think. Anyway, possession is going to stay with Solent. And yeah, good point that made from the from our YouTube following. Jazz Baines, limited minutes so far. Would like to see him back in the game at some point. O'Showan on the push finds Sam Grant. Little runner, doesn't get out to go. It's tipped up off the rim and it's then pulled down by Okoronkwo and thrown away, and Aerosol can't pull it. Stays with Reading this end. 14 on the shot clock. again, decent running pace. Nice to see Reading getting paint touches, and they didn't get a lot of in the first half.
Absolutely.
But again, not converting yet. So O'Showen by Ian Smith and lays it in, and we need to see more of that. Ian Smith the other way, finds Okoronkwo. He decides to take his time. Goes in and out behind the back against Sam Grant. KB Live pulls it, and this is Sam Grant down the middle. Jackman tries to take a charge. Sam getting his feet just right, and he's having a nice game this evening as the young man.
And also, Mark, shout out to KB right there. Good defensive position. Claims it, gets his body in the way, shovels it out there to Sam, and Sam goes about 80 feet for the layup. KB got a great matchup for this young man, just playing against the MVP candidate of the division.
Yep. Jackman down the middle. Better defense in the help side from Rockets. They probably the best defensive possession of the evening.
Absolutely.
So far.
And I think Coach Keane will be happy with that.
This is Toloese on his own against Jackman. He'll turn the corner looking for Sam Grant, who'll just pull it himself, and it's great work again by the 6'8" forward at John Medacy Academy.
Here we go again, KB against Travis in the handoff.
Ian Smith inside, great cut from Okoronkwo, and it's Toloese falling asleep on the perimeter.
Yeah, and when you're always having to help all the time, isn't it? KB looked at the one-on-one against Travis, didn't like it.
Thought about the wing one-on-one, and that's going to be an offensive foul. Andre Aerosol in good position.
Yeah.
I was expecting the double cross from KV on the left wing there. Didn't happen.
Yeah, I think KV probably reluctant to roll that move out because he's getting great minutes.
Yeah, he's doing a good job as the young man.
He's locked up Travis Charles.
2 possessions, locked up. We are being completely sarcastic. Please don't start shouting at us. There's a very strong Solent contingent on the stream. Yeah. We're being completely sarcastic.
210 people going, what?
Back in action then, it's Ian
Horns
Smith.
action by Solent, trying to get Travis Aerosol.
Stolen this time by O'Showen. They'll get a little 2-on-1 as they push. It's nice. Pinnock out on the run. A good layup.
Yeah, and again, look at that mark from defence. Now this is where Rockets have got to add weight to this defence, to that great offence.
Good find. Aerosol pump fake, 12-footer. Yeah. Need to pull it, and they do. There's Pinnock on the boards. 4-on-4 going the other way. O'Showen step back again and doesn't make this one. The big body of Travis Charles, but stolen away by Pinnock. He'll dial his own number this time. Back rims it, and again, you just wish that Reading would make that possession count rather than another quick three as they've got the lead to 24 from around 30-ish.
Yeah. It's a game of fine margins, isn't it? Because if you just start in and watch the last 2 minutes, you wouldn't believe the scores to what it is. And you'd be right to, because there's so many small things that make a difference in this game. And Solent do all of very, very well.
Sorry, to cut you off. Early post. Toloese's got a foot inside the paint, but strong off the backboard and doesn't make that one go. And it's Smith against Williams. KB Live steps up, and there's a late whistle, and it probably will be on KB. It's on 13. That is on KB Live. Jonathan Lashley in for Solent. Chuck Duru replaces KB. Great minutes. Really great minutes from a young man of 17, 18 years old, defending a BBL caliber, NBL Div 1 MVP caliber Travis Charles. Ian Smith misses his first, bit of a rare one for him.
Yeah.
Makes a second, and Solent put this back out to a 25-point lead. Pinnock against Aerosol. Chuck will pop just inside 3, and he makes it. And more positive minutes from Chuck Durham.
Chuck's been making that shot for many a year. He paced Essex with that last year, that little 15, 16-footer.
Good hands by Pinnock, gets over the screen, and it's Jackman, hands in the paint, and it's Lashley who just drops it over the front of the rim.
Yeah, and I think that
Pinnock the other way, good, early low touch. Toloese inside, a lot of contact, but forcing a lot of it. It's Aerosol out and running, and he will go in for a two-handed flush. And just like that, 27-point game. This is O'Showen-Williams against Ian Smith. Good look underneath for Sam Grant.
Yeah. Another good finish by young Sam. Good pass by O'Showen as well.
Good finish, good look from O'Showen. Just under 3 minutes to go in this third quarter. Solent lead this one 70-45. It's Lashley on that low block. The cutting Jackman puts it up, and a soft touch for the former England and GB man. Again, Toloese, nice early low post. Great footwork, but just blows the lane with Sam Grant on the boards. Pinnock gets a paint touch and he back rims it, gets his own board. Lays it up and in, and it'll be a 3-second call or a foul. It's a foul, 2 shots. There's also a technical foul on Toloese, or was that on Duru?
No, that was on Toloese, I think, just...
There's been a lot of contact. I think he's been upset in the last few possessions. He's got early good position. Again, because I'm the unbiased, very
absolutely
objective commentator, he has got good position. There has been contact. He's forced a lot of it himself.
Yeah, and like everything, isn't it? When you're in the game, you're in the emotion of the game. You're trying to give everything you can. You're trying to do what you can. It's only till after the game where you're able to review your decisions at the moment, and this is why the film is so important, right? So
now, last time a technical foul like this happened, we were commentating at Rivermead, and I mentioned that our good friend Tintin Watts got teched up on purpose because the foul count was not very good in his favour. The foul count is not very good in the Rockets' favour now. If it balances up, we'll call it not a coincidence.
I see what you mean, right.
We'll call it not a coincidence if it balances up in a minute.
Yeah.
This is Lashley against Sam Grant. And he travels, sliding that pivot foot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
0 step.
Obvious call.
Yeah, and all the other stuff.
So does that count as one? I told you it's coming. This is O'Showen-Williams. He'll reverse to Duru with the handoff. Jackman just stays at home on the pick and roll. Kick to Dixon, who shot it well so far. Back rims this one, and Pinnock skies the rebound, but it's Lashley out and running. Goes onto his right hand.
Yeah, Mark, I was just going to say about Lashley and about Solent in general, that at each position they make really good, easy decisions, and it ends up like that, right? Just good basketball. Good basketball to watch. Good for coaches. Good for players.
Very good basketball from Solent. Reading still playing well. This is Dixon. He'll get a paint touch, throws up the floater and makes it, and it's very nice from the Aussie Ben Dixon. This is Ian Smith through Jackman. Little handoff, and Dixon defending Smith well, but he gets right down the paint. Far too easy for someone of Ian Smith's calibre. And the lead has extended. Sam Grant again on the floor. Lashley just pulls the chair on him. It's the right move again from Sam Grant. Again, I'm really enjoying seeing that this evening. He's put on the floor far more than I've seen so far. Just as we get Jazz Baines back into the game, as some of the crowd on YouTube wanted, and now he's back in the game. Only saw 8 or 9 minutes in that first half, Matt.
Yeah, and went 0 for as well, didn't he? Which is not like him from the first couple of games. And another guy that will come in, dial his own number, and will have some confidence in his own shot-making ability.
All we need is 14 threes from Jazz, and we're right back in it.
In 10 minutes, yeah.
This is Smith, defended by the new guy, Jazz Baines, goes right by him, and layup from Ian Smith, and one. Tough for Jazz Baines coming into the game. You sat for probably the best part of 20-30 minutes, and then you get on Ian Smith.
Yeah,
and then you get yelled at by your coach.
Yeah,
tough entry.
You get skinned.
Tough entry into the game, not going to lie.
I think every player's been there, Mark.
Oh yeah, I know it well. Pinnock, good paint touch again. It's Chuck Duru from outside, and this time no good. It's Sam Grant keeping it alive, and this is Baines. He'll go pick and roll with Duru. Good look inside. Dixon, 6 on the shot clock, runner, and it's an offensive foul taken by Orland Jackman. And to your point here, Matt, earlier, and you said about lots of, they have lots of talented players, but to see somebody of Orland Jackman's level, right? As you said before the game, the guy was averaging 15 in the BBL, and now he's taking a charge at JMA. It's really good to see from a playing perspective that they commit at that level.
I think that's the first layup Chris Scarlett has shot since 1998.
So true. And it's Elijah Corman with the finish. Dixon from distance and makes it.
Wow. Halfway.
Just as I got over the fact, as I was about to deliver the stat that Chris Scarlett's 3-point percentage is actually better than his 2-point percentage.
Yeah.
That's not true, by the way. It's completely made up. But then Dixon goes the other way, makes it, and what was a crazy end to the third quarter sees Solent taken 80-50, a 30-point lead into the fourth, and Matt, Reading still struggling to get back in this one.
Yeah, I mean, you're just seeing, aren't we, Mark? We're seeing quite a lot of. It's tough to play against this Solent team for any team in the division, and let alone if you don't get your shooting boots on and you come out and you have some real self-confidence, you can be quickly on the back end of a 10-0, 12-0 run, which is what we saw in the first and second quarter. And part of that is about trying to get to a place where you're cohesive as a unit and as continuously as a group and then as units when you're playing. And that's a real challenge against a team of such high calibre and such good decision makers. I was going to say one of the things, Jonathan Lashley comes in off the bench, who was I think he's ex-London Lions, but has come here, plays his role really well, can attack one-on-one, but not only that, every single post-offensive player is passing really well out of double teams and against pressure for Solent. So you're seeing they're able to recycle the ball and put pressure on the Rockets defence. So it's this is really great time for Rockets to get back into it, to get back into their way of playing. They've got another game tomorrow. They've got to find some rhythm in this fourth quarter. They've got to find some time to be able to say, hey, there's an opportunity here, and you get the shot of JMA, and you get the shot of Coach Keane and the referees and the guys who are making this game work. But there's a lot of work to be done in this fourth quarter. This is not a time for them to just say, hey, this game's finished. The scoreboard will lie to you sometimes. So let's see if Rockets have got in them 10 minutes to put some pressure on this Solent team and come out with some momentum.
Get your thoughts going into tomorrow and what looks like a positive outcome for Reading in this fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Just in a bit as we get back into it.
Tiffany Charles said, lol at the commentators, and somebody needs to fix the score. I think from what we can see, the score should be right, but do tell us if it's
on the score.
Correct.
Bear in mind it's updating from live stats, so if they don't update it quick enough, it doesn't update quick enough. It's that simple. I'll keep you up to date though. Don't worry about that on the score. I'll keep you going. It's Scarlett in the corner, and it's another one, all string, and the guy with a better 3-point percentage and 2-point percentage continues.
Yeah. You love that, don't you, Mark?
Yeah, I'm a big fan. Baines reversing through Grant and Pinnock. They'll go handoff. This is Dixon in the handoff again. Baines this time gets one up, doesn't get that one to go, and it's Pinnock. This is Dixon, who's shot it well so far. Toe on the line, that's 2. Ben Dixon continues to have a good evening. And this is Ronnie Agekwe coming into the game, Matt. Ronnie checking into the game.
Yeah, Agekwe with it.
Yep. Lashley against Duru. Doesn't get it to go. Sam Grant with another board and he's fouled by Foreman.
Alex Totti loves the optimism, but said this was over in the first. Well, factually it wasn't.
Second, minute, quarter.
I think,
if you're going to make that sort of comment, clarify. I want to know when. Completely joking. This is Chuck Duru. Dixon. Pinnock on the fade. This time tries to go by Aerosol, but Aerosol good defensively recovers. This is Ronnie going against Jonathan Lashley. Tries to find the cutting Pinnock. It doesn't, and Solent up and running. 4-on-3. Rockets just getting numbers back. Okoronkwo through Scarlett. Looking for Lashley inside. They won't find him. They'll go reverse it again through Okoronkwo to Poorman. Little switch, and this Poorman open for three. Scarlett wide open, makes another.
Yeah, and that is Scarlett, isn't it? That is
Dixon with the runner. Back rims this one, and Scarlett, who's made his last 2 threes, pulls the rebound.
And I think this could be a really important timeout, I think, for coaching. Not necessarily for this game, but he's going to be saying, I'm pretty sure he's going to be saying, we're just giving them the ball straight back.
Lashley against Duru. Chuck finally gets the ball forward. It's Dixon, finds Baines, finds Pinnock. He's one-on-one with Scarlett. He'll go to the left. Great touch from Maurice. Pinnock kisses it high off the glass with the left hand.
Pinnock goes to 7.
89-54. Solent lead this one. 7 to go. Pinnock still playing tough defensively, and it's been fun to watch during this evening. Aerosol and Pinnock. And it's time out. Alan Keane. As this one has just made its way to 35-point lead here for Solent. It's 89-54. I'll take a minute to thank everybody on the live stream for joining us. I know we were in the 200s, and I
231.
Sincerely appreciate everybody coming to be with us this evening and see this game. We were hoping for a slightly closer one, but Matt, you're looking at the comments. And
yeah, Hoops by Huncho says, great comms, guys. Love how much fun you have with it. Thanks for the stream. And one of those okay signs with the ball. And then Alex comes back. You've touched a nerve. Only messing, guys. Rockets haven't stopped fighting, so I have to respect that. Maria says, Reading haven't been intimidated by the intensity or the score at all. I personally really like their game and think they have talent. Just a shame they can't score as consistently as Solent. Maria Delgado. So deep stuff by Maria. And rebound.
This is probably one of the most informed crowds we've ever had.
I think they were referring to a buzzer beat being given to wrong team on the score sheet. Okay.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I was referring to the slight delay in score. Maybe I'll keep you up to date. I appreciate all the comments. Honestly, I think this is one of the great things with NBL streams, especially ones done here in Reading. The experience we have with the stream team is that we generally have a good community of people making good comments. There's generally no negativity, so keep it all coming.
Yeah,
I was really only joking. You could very much argue Reading did lose this in the first possession, because it's been one of those evenings where they have not got it together, and Solent have been firing on all cylinders.
And huge Todd Lindley, the PR comms guy, just wants to be a big shout out to say that Rockets have gone past their 2,000th follower on Instagram. So not maybe the right moment to mention that, but he's
a glass half full kind of guy.
He's on courtside waving his arms in the air, saying, hey.
Has that just happened mid-game?
I thought someone had broken a leg.
He's so excited mid-game, we're getting whacked by 35. And he's like, but don't forget, 2,000 followers.
Absolutely. Put everything in context, as old Todd.
So true. Scarlett on the line, is fouled by Jazz Baines.
Great minutes for young Ronnie from last year.
Baines on the drive, takes the contact from Scarlett, and Ronnie with the rebound, like that from the youngster. Daru with the little 8-foot floater.
And Ronnie has got what you consider boundless energy.
That's good.
There we go.
Great by Ronnie. The thing is though, if this is me, I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at a youngster. A lot of energy, pulls a rebound, pulls an offensive one, then pulls a defensive one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, a bit of composure, but you only get that from experience, and this is
now
Stan will take into the game too.
You need to be quiet because Mick Bett's speaking now.
Okay,
so
nice.
You know your place. So Mick Bett says, Matt, great job. Not sure any team is ever going to outrun Solent. Playing defence, taking care of the ball and getting good shots is the key.
Yeah,
there's not a lot he doesn't know, Mark, so don't get into it now.
Mick is one of those guys I'm not going to argue with. As we see Dixon again and Ronnie with the foul, but again, I'm happy with that. And Matt, you can see here, there's no starters on the floor, 2 academy guys. Ronnie doesn't usually get a lot of burn. Is Ronnie Getquay in 6, it's Stanwell Tate in 7. Guys that don't usually see the floor, they get a solid 6 minutes here probably at NBL Division 1 action.
Yeah, and great for them, right? Another game tomorrow. It's a great learning experience. Coaches have seen lots. Some guys have put their name on the map, some others will be disappointed, and they'll be ready for tomorrow.
There was a foul, I think, off the ball. Didn't see that one.
It was a carry.
Oh, was it? Sorry.
Yeah.
I'd stepped back so far from the balcony that I couldn't see half the floor, so I missed it. Anyway, Rockets on the floor now. Handoff broken up by Aerosol. Dixon and Duru in pick and roll. It's Stanwell Tate. He'll pull his, he's fouled, and good to see there. 2 dribbles, pull up. More boundless energy from the academy guys. And again, I shouldn't say that because I will be in trouble from Alan Keenan if I refer to them like that. They are, members of the full squad. I got told off for this before. Yeah. I'm not going to get told off anymore. And I love seeing them on the floor.
Yeah, you do. You've always been an advocate of that, actually.
True.
I tell you what, coaches will be enjoying. They'll be loving Ronnie Getquay's energy, Mark. They'll be absolutely loving that bravery and challenging guys many years older than him. And just the enthusiasm to get in and play defence. And I think that might be the first stray pass that maybe we've seen in between 2 Solent guys.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see what the turnover numbers look like, but as you say, you don't see much of it. This is a Getquay through Stanwell Tate. Dixon going inside to Daru, got a decent position with Okaronko, and it's Ronnie Getquay inside, left hand, he puts it in, love to see it.
And that was just for you, Coach Mick Bett, as he said, who is 6 for Reading, Diamond Fine. Ronnie Getquay from Ireland, via Myerscough, as 17-18, forgive me if I get the actual age wrong, but 17-18, academy player.
Scarlett on the drive, slips.
6'6", 6'7", long arm span, athletic, doing really well at practice.
Solent subbed in as well. This is Kai Walker into the game. Brendan Okaronko takes a seat.
Matt Bishop was telling me Solent are on their 4th weekend of back-to-back games because of the BBL stuff as well. So
Tate looking inside to Daru. Doesn't find him, but the ball's kicked. 14 left on the shot clock, sideline with the Rockets. Baines in pick and roll with a Getquay. He'll get a paint touch, nice kick. Tate puts it on the floor, doesn't get that one to go. Foreman on the drive, finds the cutting Walker. Scarlett wide open again, doesn't get this one to go, and it will just go out of bounds, called by baseline official there. going the other way with the Rockets, and this will be Jacob Satautas into the game for Rockets as Chuck Duru takes a seat. So that's the
positive minutes for Jacob as well in his earlier on in the game.
Yeah, he played well early on, and he'll get another solid 4 minutes of NBL Division 1 action. It's Baines and Dixon, Satautas, Agekwe and Stanwell Tate. Baines gets to Stanwell Tate and he makes it. Great shot. Really nice offense again from Reddick.
And a much better shot than the first two that he took as well, Mark. Like, got his feet under him, on balance, and now he's got to go and guard Arisol.
Does a good job of it.
Ronnie gets a hand on that one.
Almost set up and under there from Stanwell Tate. It's Walker out and running. It's Dixon with the block. Pulled by Jazz Baines, and now it's Reading up and running. 3:30 to go, 91-62. Some contact, and Satautas needs to pull that one, does. Gives it to Baines. 12 on the shot clock. Baines step back way off right. Satautas saves it, but it's Solent off and running. Arisol blocked by Baines. And a few afters there, nothing of any interest.
Julie Grant giving a shout out to her next favourite son, Jacob Satautas.
As we get a timeout.
You've taken some timeouts like this, Mark, in your timeout. You're down, the gap's big. Is there anything that you're saying now? With 3 minutes to go, you're trying to get some value now, aren't you, from these three? Is there anything specific that you like to discuss at this time or not?
About the game or just in general?
I'm thinking if you're coaching now and you're Coach King, you've got the younger guys in, is there certain things that you what messages that you want to get? You know, you've got 3 minutes to close the game out. What things make that palatable?
I think if I'm Coach Keane in a minute and I'm looking at some of the younger guys in, I'd love to see them run positive offense. I'd like to see them do a decent job defensively.
Yeah.
And again, I think, I don't know Alan as well as you do. I think there's probably a point to be made here. If he does get good production out of this group in the last 3 minutes, he'll be looking over his shoulder at his starters and saying, look guys, we can get positive production. Guys with energy, guys with enthusiasm. Some guys that maybe haven't got the context of the game, don't really know who they're up against, so they don't fear it, they just do it. And their context is different. So I think that's probably for me that what we'd be thinking about as we see Alan having a bit of a chat with Jazz Baines on the sideline. O'Show and Williams is back in. So it's Dixon and Williams, Stanwell Tate, Agekwe and Satautas.
I think one of the other things that, from a player's perspective, is, everyone's been on the back end of a loss. And generally, what's the measure of the player then is what they do the next day, right? Whether you take your time to watch the film, look at some of the things that you didn't do earlier on in the game. Can you correct those things? Are they things that you want, that you're looking at? Is it just technical things? Is it tactical? Is it decision making? Because if players are good enough to do that, then you'll find a way to make progress in every single moment that you've got. And it's one of the most important things for players, especially when you're playing a team of this caliber, is you're not letting one game get you down. Agekwe gets his hand on it, as does Satautas.
There's the defensive energy I was talking about. Almost thrown away. Scarlett gets a hand on it. Sideline Rockets. This is Agekwe. Now Dixon. Stanwell Tate looking for a screen and roll with Jacob Satautas. Agekwe. Extra step and puts it in. There we go. There we go, young fella. There we go.
And young Ronnie has really caught the eye of the coaches and his teammates just by the extra effort.
It's good to see. Jacobs
Switch
Atautas
by
on the
Jacobs
show.
Atautas and switch back. Going against Lashley, who shoots it. Oh.
Fouls underneath. Stays with the Rockets.
Yeah, and again, 7 Abel says full court press and trap, be aggressive. Come on, Rockets.
I agree. Might be too little, too late. O'Showen splits a double, kicks to Stanwell, taking this Okoronkwo down the middle, who takes the charge.
How many charges is that for Solent? How many charges
It's
they're taking?
probably the 3rd or 4th I can remember.
Yeah.
How many by Rockets?
I don't think any, is it?
This is where people can't see me, but I gave you the wry smile. Yeah, exactly. And you wonder why you're down 31.
I don't think that's just it.
It's a metaphor.
Oh, right, sorry. Yeah, I mean, what it is a milestone that your team defence is really good. When you're behind the play, you know the breakdown's happening.
Rockets to their zone. Foreman for 3, doesn't get it to go. Kai Walker will pull that rebound. It's Okoronkwo, Walker. Scarlett wide open again. He's missed a couple, and I expect him never to miss.
Yeah, absolutely.
KB Live down low against Walker. He'll just muscle his way in. Good position from KB Live early on. Dixon against Scarlett, goes at Lashley. The rangy Lashley gets a hand on that one. It's Walker. Ahead to Foreman, back to Walker.
And I think, Mark, that's the sort of stuff where you've got your guard, you've got Dixon going up against Lashley. Good finish. In the previous play, you had him going up against 6'8", 6'9" wingspan. Tough finish to get because we haven't got the next one. You haven't seen much of that from Solent in this game. Into the last minute.
Offensive foul there on Foreman. Taken by Ben Dixon. Just under a minute to go.
Yeah.
Matt, think about your closing thoughts now as we run out the clock, as it's going to be a big win for Solent in the end, but Reading never really at the races today.
Yeah, they'll be disappointed as well, because I think from the last time Reading Rockets played away at Solent was a 4-5 point game in the middle of the third, and the way that Solent came out the traps today was quite clear that was something they wanted to put right. And I think the senior guys on the Rockets team will be frustrated and probably disappointed with their early quarter offensive output in terms of timing, spacing, getting the right shots at the right time, and then it's the ultimate punishment, isn't it, when you're playing against guys that then put 30 on you quite quickly. So, and there's the extra pass from Lashley again.
Again, good to see Ronnie Agekwe out and running, gets an and one. Like, you can't fault this kind of energy, can you? When, you know, a guy who comes in and knows, I'm going to try and get my minutes, he's done a good job of it.
Well, like every coach will say, you know, if you get given a chance, what you're going to do with that chance? And he's been given a chance today. As I said, positive things can come out of difficult situations. And as we wind up, you know, I'm sure you have a few thoughts as well, but Ronnie takes a well-earned round of applause as well for his energy and enthusiasm to come into the game, and that will draw us to the end of this game, and the scoreboard will say 68 to Rockets and 95 to Solent. And Mark, what's your thinking?
I'm thinking if Ronnie Gekwe didn't come on in the last 6 minutes, I'd have been really disappointed today.
But you're happy?
I'm not happy. I'm a bit happier.
There's a bit of joy in the end. We said about that, didn't we? About taking that forward to tomorrow. And this game, and some of these games, you just have to knock these games off. You know, you just have to, as we give these guys a little round of applause for that, really, for both teams. But you just have to tick these games off and say, okay, that one's done. What the most important thing is about staying together and being cohesive as a group, right? That's the most important thing. You've seen that in Solent for maybe 2 years now. They've built that way of playing, and it's the same thing that we want to see from the Rockets groups, being cohesive, and that means being responsible for the things you didn't do very well. That's a key thing for every player to learn, isn't it? And you've got a great opportunity to wind this film back tonight, a quick watch of it, and just go, you know what? Defensively, this is where I could have been. I didn't see that. That's what coach meant when we were talking about that. That's what my teammate was saying to me for that. So, great opportunity to learn. And learning doesn't just come from a week of practice. Learning comes from just watching yourself. The film doesn't lie. So, you know, for any of the players that are watching the film, I hope you find it, you know, helpful. I hope you find it enjoyable as well, because we know this is for the players and from the players for the players, which would sound like we were players and. Probably won't remember either of us playing ever. You were a player. I was a roll around on the floor type of guy. But yeah, really enjoyable, Mark, and always good to be with you and spending some time with you when you're away from your family. So thank you for that commitment as well on your side.
Yeah, it just leaves us to wrap up. Thank you everybody who joined us on the live stream. Again, I genuinely love coming out with a really engaged group of people who are leaving comments and keeping things positive. So very much appreciated. Do feel free to go and add some comments to any of the social channels at Rockets Reading or at Reading Rockets on Facebook, Instagrams, Twitter.
2,000 followers on Instagram.
There's 2,000 followers now, we didn't mention it. Always good, helps us from our side, helps us gain things like support from potential sponsors, from anybody willing to donate when the stream is being well received by multiple people across the country. So the more you support us, the better. Yeah, and I've got one question for you. As the live stream gets bigger and bigger and bigger, does it become a live river? And on that note, I did warn Matt about making comments like this today, and he's gone the entire game and now made one.
The whole game.
Anyway, thanks everybody for joining us. Matt, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you, Mark.
We will be with you tomorrow, 3 p.m. tip. It's not me, I'm at my son's birthday party. Yeah. But someone will be here.
Absolutely, mate. Look forward to it.
See you guys. Thanks for joining us.
Take care. Bye-bye.